Crush, streaming live on the Sensation Station Network. And I am your humble co-host, E. Glaze. And you know it's big time now. I ain't gonna be clowning because he had double duty today. But it's makes you heard with the gray shirt on, man.
Yes, there you go.
No, I wasn't gonna do it like that.
I appreciate that, sir.
I was gonna do it right.
I appreciate that, sir.
So we gotta look. I had to bring my polo on.
Right. I had to make sure I was dressed properly today.
Clean off myself
because this is a legendary show today.
When you have legends in the building,
yes,
who can talk about legends, who've been around legends.
Yes,
you have to make sure your shirts are not too crinkly.
Right. Put a little iron. I broke out the iron.
We make sure they looking right.
I ironed a little bit today. Then I ironed my pants, but at least I'm.
Make sure your hygiene was taken care of.
Put some heat on my shirt. Yes. No doubt.
Hey, this is a show we've been working on for 4 years. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I've been around. I've talked to a lot of his players. You talked to him. We talked to his daughter. We've had all this. We've heard about he's getting stadiums put to him, and now he's on his 5th book with legendary Coach Godfrey. Godfrey is in the building. Sir, how are you today?
I'm very fine. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, this is an honor. Like I said, there's only a few coaches I knew growing up. You know my coach, Larry Campbell from Lincoln County, but also knew about you. So I'm honored. What about you, Mason?
So the conversations me and this young fella here had on the phone, man, I felt like I was talking to my dad. I felt like I could feel his energy. I know so many people who played for him and all of their stories. I would ask him about a few of them, and he would just laugh. Because we probably talked on the phone 2 hours that first time we talked.
Sure did.
Yeah. It was just, hey man, it was an honor. It was indeed honor.
I feel like I got a piece of Southwest DeKalb in me. I've been around because, you know, all the players we done had here, from Terrence Trammell to Hassan Graham and Quincy Carter. We talked to all these Southwest DeKalb. I feel like we a little part of it. Now we got the matriarch who's created all
who put it together, put it all together.
So one thing that we definitely going to tell, I want y'all to understand, this book right here is legendary because when I played coming up in high school, there was always a guy that Eddie Robinson was somebody I always heard about, want to be a part with and learn about. And now he wrote this book about his friend. We're going to talk about that a lot today too.
Okay.
During the interview. So we're going to make sure you can find out where you can get your book as well.
Yes.
During this interview.
Amazon to bring it right to your front door, baby.
So what's perfect about this show is the recruiting 101 on the Wednesday.
Right.
And when you got a guy who's put, let me make sure I get the number right, 301 scholarships.
Yes. 16 guys with doctorate degrees.
He knows a little bit about recruiting and getting you to the place where you needed to go.
Yeah. But he knows it from a different perspective.
And that's what we want to talk about.
And that's what we want to talk about, because to me, that's where recruiting needs to go back to the Buck Godfrey days.
Buck Godfrey.
We got to go back to those days.
Let me interject something on that right there.
Yes, sir.
We put a lot of time into the recruiting thing for the simple reason that kids have to go to a school where they're going to get, number one, educated. Number two, they got to feel like they're part of a family. And they got to feel like they're going to be successful. So, coach, you know, when you're talking about all this D1s and stuff like that, I never got into that. We fit our kid to where he would become the best human being he could be. And, you know, speaking of that book right there, a lot of my guys went to Eddie Robinson because I want a continuance of the values that we had placed in them on that hard football field over there at Southwest DeKalb.
So when we come back, man, I can't wait. We just give y'all a little taste.
Just a taste, man. I got questions out of this book too, man. I got to know some things, Coach.
So stay with us.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus.
Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, talk, touch their hair. Details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones we carry with us every day. Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Credit, Jack. Yeah, black on.
To Atlanta where the players play and we ride on them things like
it's time for the crushing interview.
We're going to this crushing interview brought to you by Oracy Software. Make sure you go to Oracy Software, orasi.com to find out about all the things they can do for you at this great company. So Maceo, please, we gave you a little taste. Please give him the proper introduction, sir.
Legend, author, English teacher. The fifth book is here. My friend Eddie Robinson, a memoir about Gramblin's American coaching legend. This guy is a Hall of Famer, and he's a legend himself. William Buck Godfrey to the microphone. What's up, Coach?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Quite well, sir.
That's my guy right there, everybody. That's my guy.
So I have to ask, where did Buck come from? The name Buck. I mean, William Buck. I mean,
I've heard a couple of things. One of them stemmed from growing up. You know, I was a little outside the box on everything I did, and they go back to the quote-unquote Buck N-word that you couldn't control. And then I heard another one about I had a buck tooth back when I was about 6, 7 years old.
So you just got two stories going.
I got two. Let's see. According to what you believe.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
What was behind writing this book? What did you want to get accomplished in writing this?
I want Coach Robinson and the Grambling program to be benchmarked across the whole world for all the things that he did in conjunction with all the other black coaches that had to do the things they did under the direst of circumstances and were still successful. And the people that they who played for Coach and a lot of other, Ox Clemens, Joe Gilliam, the list goes on and on. It'll come to me a little bit more later. These guys didn't have any place to go.
Right.
You know, there's no telling what would have happened with all that energy and all that, talent there.
Right.
Like Bob Hayes at Florida A&M. I mean, where was he gonna go?
Right.
And these guys did the job, man, to make our black athletes have a home, have a place to go, have a mentor. And these guys believed in making a young man into a great man, a guy with integrity, dignity, learn how to match the subject with the word, have morality, respect women, go to class, discipline.
Right.
These things were inculcated into these fellas just as soon as they hit that place. I mean, like Coach there, you ringing that bell 6 o'clock every morning, getting his kids to go to class. I've seen Joe Gilliam had a kid. This gonna sound funny, but he had a kid in prison. He found out the kid was in prison, but he could play. And Joe would he worked out a deal with the whoever the head of the prison was, that the guy would practice with the team, play on Saturday, and then he had to bring him back to prison after the game.
So hold up, coach. Let me get this right. So he would practice with the squad,
right?
Play on Saturday.
Then
he had to go back and report.
He had to go back and report back to prison. but that's a story that's true. I heard it from Joe Gilliam Sr. himself.
Yeah.
Because my son played at Tennessee State, and we'd go to visit Joe to learn football. I mean, and the things they did for those guys, man. It take a bunch of books, but like I said, I wanted to benchmark Eddie Robinson and the Gremlin program because Coach presented us with Tank Younger, Paul Tank Younger, first black player from HBCU.
Yep.
And then James Harris, the first black quarterback to take a snap.
Yep.
And he wasn't drafted.
Right.
So he and Coach had a tete-a-tete on the football field. And he was feeling down and out on himself, and Coach told him, I went to the NFL camps to train you how to be a quarterback. Wow. And you are a great quarterback. Don't let nobody tell you different.
Right.
He said, now you're going back to you're going to get in free agency and you're going to somebody's team. But if you don't come back here and tell me you didn't make it because you black. No, that's powerful.
Wow. That's powerful.
That's powerful right there. Then, of course, you got Doug Williams with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got the Super Bowl all coming from Graham.
Yes, right. Sir. And that quarter they had, I was at a thing my daughter, Rashawn Ali, was the hostess or whatever. Shaq Williams, I think. Shaq said Doug Williams' quarter in the Super Bowl was something they did at Grambling every weekend.
Wow. So
it wasn't no big deal.
Wow. They seen it before.
Yeah. I mean, I love this, man, because I'm a baseball guy and football, but when we played baseball back in the 60s, we played baseball against the best black guys. Right. I played at Delaware State, and it normally came down to Delaware State and Shaw, or Delaware State and North Carolina A&T. And man, them guys could bring it. I mean, you talking about cats can play baseball. I mean, it's like a small Negro league. And, fundamentals, bunting, suicide squeezes, double steals. It was just great to be involved in that.
The basics of the game.
Knowing that you're going against the best.
Wow. We got more coming on the other side. Just make sure that the book is My Friend Eddie Robinson, a memoir about Grambling's American coaching legend. $11.99 Amazon Prime. Godfrey. When we come back, sir, I want to ask you, who did you know? What's the Eddie Robinson you knew? We know what the public tells us. I want to know who you knew. And talk about your friend a little bit. Now stay with us.
It is Sean Prime from Inside the Loop with myself and Brenna B, and I've been talking about Gene's Body Tech for a minute simply because it's a premier gym in a pristine spot without a premium price. All the weight you need, all the machines you want, free parking, all in Buckhead. Come on, it's crazy. 700 Miami Circle is where you want to work out today. And for those who are feeling a little bit down because you may not have followed through on the healthy New Year resolution thing, hey, it's still the new year. You can start today. Look at yourself a year from now and hello, is that you? Because you're looking good, like snack-like. Yes, you are. 700 Miami Circle, or go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech, also known as JBT Fitness. Either way, $49 is nothing to pay to feel your best every day.
Coming to Tampa Bay, I said we want to win a Super Bowl, and I believe we will.
From IamSecond.com.
We came close, but never really did win that championship.
Former NFL head coach Tony Dungy.
At the end of my 6th year, I was fired, and it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Next year, I'm in Indianapolis, get to the playoffs, but get knocked out again. And for the next couple of years, it's the same thing. Everyone is saying Colts are never going to win one. And I did wonder, why didn't it pan out the way I thought it would? But I determined that I had to have Christ first, and that everything else came below that, including my own desires. The next year, that ended up being our year to go to the Super Bowl and win it, and it was a wonderful feeling. Every decision I make, I'm going to make it through the lens of Jesus Christ, and He guide us to that ultimate victory. I'm Tony Dungy, and I am second.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
It's time for a classic. Classic rock.
We're not crushing enemy right now with the legendary Coach Buck Godfrey. Find out what Buck stood. Has 2 meanings. So
Yes,
depends on what you ask.
Yeah.
Before we get there, before we get to the thing we were talking about, there's a question that was asked. Make sure.
Yeah, so Coach Godfrey from David Hayes, he wants to know, what HBCU school did you send the most players to?
You know, I got to think on that. It was Grambling. I think we sent 14 guys there. Yeah,
Great question.
14 or 17.
Glaze, before you ask that question, because in the book you talked about how you developed this relationship and you wanted to take your kids to Grambling on a yearly basis. What was your thought process behind that?
Well, you know, I went to see a certain coach at the Stadium Club in Atlanta. I had Clemente Gordon, Fred Jones, and Jabba Brown.
Okay.
And I don't want Clemente to go to a quote-unquote school where they're going to change his position from quarterback to tight end. Jabba needed some fatherly love, and so did Fred. So I went to this coach, and the coach snubbed me. He didn't have time. He got hooked up with his alumni, and he turned around and asked me my name. I said, man, you ain't got to worry about asking me my name.
There's my player somewhere else.
Here's my card. I said, nah, bro. I said, you know, we'll see you down the line, which I told him wasn't that nice, but
said, nah,
so that
bro.
next morning I got up, me and my son, we took we had 16 millimeters now with them canisters.
Right.
So I'm walking in the Stadium Hotel with all this stuff, with football stuff on. I'm still dirty from the day before. And I went to see Coach Robinson. I mean, God. And I waiting the coach get off that elevator. He come off, and I walked up to him. I said, Coach, you don't know me, but if you be kind enough to look at these tapes, I think you find 3 guys that can play at Grambling. And he said, man, if you're crazy enough to get up this early in the morning to bring me all that tape and that big old camera, I'm crazy enough to look at it. And boy, I was so happy, man, because I never expected Eddie Robinson to do that.
Right.
And he got a bellhop and he took it back up to his room. That next morning, I guess around 5:30, 5:45, the phone rings. First thing is, hello? I said, Coach, yeah, we got to have breakfast. I said, I'll be right there. Man, I shot down there, you know. I don't know whether I brushed my teeth or anything. But we never did get to breakfast. Went up to his room, and I went and met Mrs. Robinson there. She said, "Boy, you sure must be got something on them tapes. Eddie didn't go to sleep last night."
You brought that fire, as they say, Coach. Boy, you brought that fire.
But here's where I found out the substance of the man. Eddie said, Coach said, I never called him Eddie. Coach said, "Now I'm gonna tell you something. These boys can play at Grambling, especially that big-butted boy with a towel on his back. That's old Jabba."
Yeah, old Jabba.
He said, "And that Clemente, he got an arm like a rifle." And he said, "Fred can run like a deer." He said, "But now, I ain't gonna fight you for him." I said, "Coach, I just want my boys to get an education and play football.
Right.
I'm not here about no money." He said, "Boy, you different." So every time I go someplace with them kind of players, man, them boys' hands come out like them big old lobsters.
Trying to grab something.
I said, "Man, if you could," I said, "if they come to your school, you send the contracts, they're yours." And then that was the beginning. Jabba made the team. That was 1984.
Mm-hmm.
Jabba made the traveling team, and they played Alabama State in Old Fulton County Stadium that next year. And the smile on his face, and Coach took time to come and see me and everything. I just watched him, man, because we can only get him on Channel 17 at night.
TBS back then.
Right. And I just kept watching and studying. And I called him up one time and said, "Coach, do you mind if I come down there and learn football?" He said, "Man, and you can stay with me." And that was the beginning of it.
So who was he to you? Who was Eddie Robinson?
Eddie Robinson was the first thing that hit you with Coach is just pure honesty, pure energy. He was a combination of my father, combination of all the great men I respected in my lifetime. But it reminded me a lot of my daddy. He take the time to make sure you understood what he was presenting. He took the time to make you feel welcome at his home.
Right.
He took the time to introduce you to his wife. You know, he took the time to introduce his secretary, the people around Grambling. There was nobody that wasn't so big or so small that Coach wouldn't, introduce you to and make them feel comfortable with you as you feel comfortable with them. So he made me feel at home. I learned a lot of football, and we became close friends.
The book is called My Friend Eddie Robinson, a memoir about Grambling's American coaching legend. We got a legend in here in Buck Godfrey. When we come back, Coach, we got to toot your horn a little bit because we got people on here talking about how you're affecting them. Because the one thing I agree, and I get with one of our comments, you cared about players.
Oh, yeah.
And we got to definitely talk about that. So stay with us, y'all.
Coming to Tampa Bay, I said we want to win the Super Bowl, and I believe we will.
From IamSecond.com.
We came close, but never really did win that championship.
Former NFL head coach Tony Dungy.
At the end of my 6th year, I was fired, and it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Next year, I'm in Indianapolis, get to the playoffs, but get knocked out again. And for the next couple of years, it's the same thing. Everyone is saying Colts are never going to win one. And I did wonder, why didn't it pan out the way I thought it would? But I determined that I had to have Christ first, and that everything else came below that, including my own desires. The next year, that ended up being our year to go to the Super Bowl and win it, and it was a wonderful feeling. Every decision I make, I'm going to make it through the lens of Jesus Christ, and He guides us to that ultimate victory. I'm Tony Dungy, and I am second.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're more connected than ever before. 90% of America's students use some form of social media, but not all of it's used in a good way. Hurtful posts online are leading to social isolation for many. Psychologists say it's bullying in a brand new way. Well, Beyond Differences and I Keep Safe are looking to change that with ideas for students, their parents, and even teachers. Take the pledge to be kind online and learn more at wearekindonline.com.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. You know, I help people solve difficult problems every day, but one problem has me stumped: childhood hunger. Nearly 16 million children in America struggle with it. Luckily, the Feeding America network of local food banks collects surplus food, giving hope to hungry children and their families. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It is Sean Prime from Inside the Loop with myself and Brenna B, and I've been talking about Gene's Body Tech for a minute simply because it's a premier gym in a pristine spot without a premium price. All the weight you need, all the machines you want, free parking, all in Buckhead. Come on, it's crazy. 700 Miami Circle is where you want to work out today. And for those who are feeling a little bit down because you may not have followed through on the healthy New Year resolution thing, hey, it's still the new year. You can start today. Look at yourself a year from now and hello, is that you? Because you're looking good, like snack-like. Yes, you are. 700 Miami Circle, or go to facebook.com/Gene's Body Tech, also known as JBT Fitness. Either way, $49 is nothing to pay to feel your best every day.
One of the most dominant home court. Cross. You can't touch me, you're not man enough. And that's all she wrote. End zone touchdown.
We're going to the Crush Sports Talk on the Sensation Station Network, Recruiting 101 with your boy Eagle A's. Make sure, and that she is ADG in the corner over there. What's happening, Wendy?
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm gonna make it. I am.
You gonna make it. Sound like a whole, so, baby.
We gonna make it.
With our crushing interview right now, legendary Coach William Buck Godfrey.
Yes.
Also five-time author.
Yes.
And this current book, my friend Eddie Robinson, a memoir about Gramblin's American coaching legend, is out right now. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you got a question or you want to talk to about Coach Godfrey.
It's so funny. Keisha was bringing up the question, like, what players from another high school in DeKalb County that you were instrumental in helping get into college. But what we kind of talk about in the break, what a lot of people don't know about you, there's something they probably do. Not only were you helping the kids in Southwest DeKalb, you were helping kids everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember all those names now. You mentioned on,
Bobby Olive. Mm-hmm.
Bobby Olive from Douglas.
Yeah.
His daddy called me up. I said, man, I see what I can do. And I called the guy from Ohio State, sent him some tape, some film, and he gave him a full ride.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
There's a guy come up to me in the mall the other day and said, Coach, I sure appreciate that scholarship you got for me. I ain't know who the guy was.
That's where you doing work.
That's where you work.
Got you right there, buddy.
See, he was a football player or whatever. But, I mean, if I could help, man, that's what I did. I mean, I just didn't want anybody to feel upset because I was trying, because, a lot of people got egos and they get in the way,
Yeah.
So, but I mean, any kid I could help. Because like Coach said, you got to love them to coach them.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
So, Coach, how important was it for you? I think a lot of things that we miss out today is the love for the children to get them to that next level.
Yeah.
Make sure, and when they always say they got this, you got to love who love you. And you were making sure that you put kids in the right fit. And one thing I also appreciate about you, if the kid played quarterback, you were trying to find them a place to go play quarterback. You weren't trying to get them to go to receiver. You was like, no, play quarterback. That's where we going. How important was that for you to make sure you found fits for these kids and going to the right places?
Well, it's important for me because when a kid steps out of college, when he has his degree, he's got to live in this life. And life gonna give him some twists and turns and ups and downs and ins and outs and curves. So if you give him to a guy who has his interests at heart, the kid I'm talking about, the coach that has the kid's interests at heart, that kid's gonna be better prepared to face the things that I had started him with. A lot of kids develop late. Some people, you can have a great high school athlete that's a bust in college. You can have a great college person that's a bust in the pros.
Yeah.
And it works the same way. I had you'd never believe this guy could play, but, oh man, memory don't fail me now. I call him Dump Truck.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, he was 5'3" or 4, but he could bench 410. And he could squat 460.
So he was a dump truck.
Yeah. And he had 406 snaps and not one bad snap.
Wow.
And he went to Tennessee Tech.
Oh, wow.
And he graduated. And now he's one of the finest guys you want to see. This is what I'm talking about, man. Your blessings or your real scholarships come when those boys come back with that paper and that smile on their face, and you see them in the grocery store with their families. That's your wins. A lot of people don't understand wins and losses.
Yep.
When you get a scoreboard and the light and the clock goes off, Tyrus Guilford is the guy I'm trying to think about. I'm sorry, Tyrus.
Put that name down. Tyrus, you got your name right here, sir.
Yeah.
Dump truck.
Yeah. But that loss, if you come on the losing side, which we didn't do often, but that loss doesn't mean loss. It means learn. So once you figure out what you did wrong to lose, now you get whipped by a superior team, but if you lost the game that you shouldn't have lost, then that's got to be a learning experience for you. You can't mope.
Right.
You got to pull your straps up and let's go and learn it. Because, we filmed our practices. We filmed our practices. End zone shots and sideline shots. Ken Cartwright, my dear friend. And we break those film down after practice for next day's practice. And we correct the kids, and then we let them look at the film while another staff looking at that practice for the following day.
Championships.
So by the time, by the time.
I don't know, they still do coaches like that.
Well, by the time we played, our boys ready to play on Wednesday. I had to tap down. Yeah. Because in 1989, when Hassan played, we never scrimmaged. We just used helmets and shoulder pads with thigh pads.
So y'all didn't go full?
No.
You just let them leash on Friday, didn't you?
No, we prepared them. Football is 90% mental. And when you rep them guys and rep them guys and rep them guys, so you get to a point. If you get a man tired, and I used to fight, like I told you. Yeah. If you in good condition, and you so tired you can't throw a jab, okay? Now you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But if you work over that point, past that point,
the breaking point, when you get tired, you revert back to a good thing. Your jab's still snapping back.
Right.
And we worked them, boy. We had a sand pit out there. We had a field that wouldn't grow grass. We tried it. But when our boys jumped off that bus with turf, man, it was like show ponies. And we was ready to go. Because they've been through all the hell they can catch. And knocking pine trees and trying to move a building. I think we moved that building too, maybe 1/8 of an inch.
Y'all, they used to hit the building for real, y'all. Like, I thought this story was a joke till I got coach to confirm it. Yeah, I used to hear it all the time. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and we block pine trees too. That's how you get your form. You know?
We
have a train.
You get your form. I mean,
we used to hit we used to hit our gym too.
Okay.
Coach used to tell us to move the gym. We knew we couldn't. But
Well, if you're gonna go up there and block like this, that's gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt.
But you turn like this now. That's the way you do it. You know?
Man, we got so much more, man. Y'all stay with us, man.
Wow.
Smiles on our faces.
Honey, what you cook for dinner tonight?
You want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
I cooked nothing.
Well, that's the good news then.
Uh-huh. Well, there's no bad news then because tonight we're gonna have Jerk Palace.
Call Jerk Palace for authentic Caribbean cuisine, including vegetarian entrees with authentic Caribbean flavor. Call 770-892-5049. Located at 6221 Jonesboro Road, Highway 54 in Morrow, Georgia.
Jerk Palace. Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Yeah, hush that fuss the cab counter. We need some parking spots.
Come on, the cab counter.
Spot. What you got, Mason? What you got,
So,
man?
Coach, you were talking about quarterback play. In the book, you talked about at one point, you thought that the smartest guy has to be the quarterback. Eddie Robinson kind of changed your thought process on that.
The smartest guy is a diamond. It's the center, quarterback, both of them guards. They direct that blocking scheme, whatever it's going to be, or checkoffs, or what have you. Now, when you say the smartest guy, I think the quarterback got to have some moxie about himself to be the leader.
Right. That's what he taught you.
He got to be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you can't follow a non-violent quarterback. I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you a fact, man. The quarterbacks I've had, the great ones have been cocky. Cocky to the point of knowing that they're going to do good things and the team is going to rally around them. I'll give you a good example. Eric Johnson that you all talk about.
Yeah.
Eric Johnson didn't have the best athletes around him. In 1989 he did. But we used the wing tee, and then we went to the playoffs to play McKeachin. It was undefeated.
And y'all went wide on them.
We went flush.
Yeah.
Almost. We went run and shoot. We had put it in. We had it in.
Yeah.
But we saved it for them. And before the first quarter was over, I think it was 21-0.
Coach, it was 28-0, Coach.
It was 28.
It was 28-0, Coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't prepare for that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But
Keisha they weren't prepared for that.
No.
Hassan running, Eddie Beatty running, Terry Beckham running, the football one track team
out
out
there running and spread.
Yeah. And then Eric could run too, but he could throw that ball. And I'll tell you something else. That next year, we didn't have the talent at all, boy. And Eric was the tallest guy in the backfield. All right. We went to the Colorado Eyebone. and we played for the state championship. We went 13-2 that year.
Yeah, man.
But how you prepare them now, you got to play tough teams. We played Warner Robins up top, and then we went through our schedule, and we played a heck of a schedule.
Hey, man. We'll be right back, y'all. Stay with us.
Jack, yeah, black on.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, talk, touch their hair. Details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones we carry with us every day. Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This is big business. This is the American way. Station Network. See ya.
Hey, we're here at the Crush Sports Talk on the Sensation Station Network. Ken Quick Robbins said, yeah, he remember hitting those pine trees in that building too, so. He said, you ain't never lying, Coach. You remember all that. You just threw a number at me that kind of blew me away. You had 17 kickers get scholarships.
17 punters or kickers, yeah. My son.
Good old Colin.
Colin, yeah, 3-time All-American, Tennessee State. Cedric Oglesby.
Yeah, they honoring coaches this weekend.
Yeah. He played with the
Arizona Cardinals.
When that Grammatica guy went to celebrate.
And
he kicked 3 or 4 or 5 field goals. He went to, I believe it was South Carolina State. And then we had another guy made All-American in South Carolina State, Kobe Brandyberg. That was in 2000 or something. He got a record there for punting. One time I had 3 kickers on the team, man. Rodney Williams, Abdul was a championship year. I had me a Jamaican, an American, and an Indian. Anuj Masi. And all 3 of them got the scholarships. Anuj went to North Carolina Central. Cedric, that was Oglesby. He went to South Carolina State. And Rodney went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So, Rodney got the record for the longest punt ever in New York Giants. I think
in history.
86 or
86,
87.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy.
He got the Cab County record too, 56 yards per punt, average per punt.
See real.
Yeah, we that's something I had to learn. I studied it, and what got me to really learn that thing is Redan High School with Bill Claw, when they had all those boys coming out there. When they got to the 50, man, we was in danger because them cats can hit 50-something yard field goals.
When they had the kid that went to Georgia, Gardaki, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I started studying kicking. Boy named Jorge Semendevilla helped me out from Towers. Got a lot of tape, studied it. We taped in our backyard. And then I learned it. Once I learned it, boy, sometimes we'd have 4 kickers, man. One time I had a bunch of African kickers. And we said the Lord's Prayer in 3 different
United
but
Nations.
all of them went to school. Morehouse,
Three different
Morehouse likes
labels.
kickers and punters.
Yeah, I mean, Tachilo, Tawandros, Tachilo, Joseph Owusu. I can't remember the other kid's name, but I mean, I know my kickers because I worked my kickers.
Yeah.
And then we got one boy in the Darrell Jennings Jr. He's in the astronaut program.
Oh, wow.
Went through Emory-Riddle. He was a punter for us. He kicked one against Shamley for 72 yards. To save that game, Shamley had recruited so well, they were ready that night, but that broke their back, man.
Then like a punt to break your back.
Nothing like a punt, a quick kick too now.
Ooh, coach,
We had another guy with funny eyes. I can't remember his name now. We was playing Tucker, and Tucker was undefeated, you know. They did a good job recruiting too.
Throw that on me there.
10-0. They had us backed up, and this boy quick kicked for about 70 yards. Shocked them. We beat them 17-2. So, yeah, I mean, the kicking game is important.
Oh, y'all been listening to this.
You know, long
Lose some games, bro. You can run all the fancy stuff you want. If you can't get 3 in late November, December, you're going home.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, real quick, what was your biggest lesson during your coaching time that you learned?
When I went to, we went to Clark Central. This at the time when they used to hold kids back. So they play when they're 19 years old, you know, hold them back in 8th grade. And we got beat. We got beat 42-19, I think it was. And Billy Henderson, guy who I admire a lot, we met at the middle of the field. And I looked him straight in the eyes. I said, Billy, you never whoop me like this again. And the lesson I learned was you had to play better competition during the regular season. So when you get to that kind of competition, you don't get shook up. So we started scheduling Warner Robins at the top. We scheduled Lowndes at the top.
Well, you got a little South Georgia going.
Yeah, well, we had to play. We played the best now.
Yeah.
I see these fellas getting these wee wins, you know. They're playing tiddlywinks and stuff like that. But no, man, you got to play football teams. And then Douglas, I don't care what you say, Douglas and Columbia back in the day, that was going to always be the toughest teams we played.
Because I want to talk about that right now. Because we had a lot of Douglas cats that came in here.
And he said,
I look at him like, he went to Doug. He went to Doug. The Stanley Pritchards, the guys.
Boy, they got a doggone wall of fame.
Be quiet.
I'm sorry, man. So you hear from the legend, man.
I got to tell him what Quincy said when we come out.
Man, in 1996, they had a team. I didn't know how we was going to win that game. But, boy, they had some tendencies, and we figured them out.
Hold that, Coach. Hold that, Coach.
Make sure Mike cry. Make sure Mike cry. We'll be right back.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge.
Got to get this all straightened out. Keep a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend.
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Honey, what you cook for dinner tonight?
Do you want the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news first.
I cooked nothing.
Well, that's the good news then.
Well, there's no bad news then because tonight we're gonna have
for authentic Caribbean cuisine, including vegetarian entrees with authentic Caribbean flavor. Call 770-892-5049. Located at 6221 Jonesboro Road, Highway 54 in Morrow, Georgia.
Jerk Palace. 1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
The rundown. Hey man, we're the rundown right now, and the rundown is still with the legendary coach William Buck Godfrey, author of my friend Eddie Robinson. This book right here is when you got legends on the cover like this, it's great. But all right, man, sure, we got tissue over there with me.
Yeah.
He might cry.
Yeah, we're going to get away from that. Coach, one of the things Quincy Carter talked about when we interviewed him, and he was like, you know, I played for, you know, Parcells, and Parcells was, you know, he was tough. Buck Godfrey made me a tough quarterback. He coached me tough, so when I got to the NFL, I was ready for that because that's how Buck coached me.
Yeah, well, Quincy came as a finesse type guy, and he would have got that finesse-itude from somebody else. But I made that rascal run that option. I mean, we ran that old belly option. Ooh. In fact, I believe it was against Douglas.
When he went 80 yards on the first play.
80 yards on the first play.
Yes.
We ran the 24 belly option keep. Ooh. And Quincy, everybody thought the dive man had it, the trail man had it, and Quincy had it right on down the field.
80 yard, first play of the game.
Yeah. But we put him in some tough drills, man. We didn't treat him anywhere special, you know. We kept him stabilized into a team concept. And that's the key to a coach, man. If you ain't got a team, you know, it happened to me late in my career. We got to the playoffs, and it's halftime. I realized we got 2 different teams. We got a defensive team and an offensive team. I didn't know it. I'd given my coaches so much latitude. And I always put my best players on defense. We'll always build defense first, and then whatever's left, we take on offense. But,
wow.
Yeah.
I never do that.
They win with defense.
Yeah.
They win what, Maceo?
Defense, special teams, and then offense.
They win what, Maceo?
They win championship.
I just want to put it out there.
I wish you would stop saying that.
I just want to put it out there.
Somebody else who got a ring.
Yeah.
Here I am ringless again.
Could I say something about
yes, sir.
That why it's called an American coaching legend? Coach always said that they can call me a black coach, but I'm American. I'm an American coach. Coach Eddie Robinson. He said, I put into my boys the same thing any coach that got any kind of gusto would do. I wanted good citizenship. I wanted good kids who could match the subject with the verb. I wanted them to dress appropriately. I wanted them to respect women. I wanted them to go to church. You know, I did everything an American coach is supposed to do. So why are you going to call me a black coach, which separates me out from what I did? You know, you can't argue. You know, he said, you can't argue with success at any level. Success, just judge me by my record.
Yeah.
But don't put me in a corner and call me black and say, this record is different.
Right.
I'm an American coach.
Winning is winning.
Question, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
I just hired a football coach. This is his first time being a head football coach. What advice would you give to someone now going out to be a first-time head football coach, getting ready to lead a team, and some other coaches?
He already got the other coaches?
So, we're working on it.
Okay. The first thing I would do is meet with the players. Then I meet with the players and their parents. Mm-hmm. And then I'd outline, you know, what I expect. The main thing he needs to get across is he's gonna build character and grades, and the football will come. And the other thing is he got to get him, if he don't want to call his own plays, he got to get him a good offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Then you got to get an offensive line coach and a defensive line coach. And once you get those four things working, you can do it.
Coach, you didn't say wide receiver. Not just
Wide receiver to me, wide receiver. I always say wide receivers. Y'all out there because you're scared. That was back in the day.
I'm sorry, I might stand up out there like,
but if you look at this thing right now, this offense they got now, the pistol and stuff like that, all kids are judged now is their height and their 40 time. They don't have you.
Stay with that right quick, Coach, because you were right toward, I guess, coming toward the end of your career. Recruiting had changed.
Yeah.
And now it was, I'm D1.
Yeah.
How did you handle that, Coach? Because
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I couldn't handle it. There was too much parental involvement. Too many little boy coaches. They catch them in the park, and they got these 8, 9, 10 years old thinking they can play at all these big schools. You got TV. You see whatever you see. That's what you want to be, and that's hard to fight against. It's so. In reverence to the game, and not trying to hurt anybody. I say, look, y'all go ahead and do your D1s all you want, but remember one thing: you can never go to homecoming. You can never return to homecoming. That's a fact.
I'm going to take a pause on that.
Pause for the cause.
He just dropped something. I need y'all to take that in, what he just said.
Why y'all taking that in?
You can't go to homecoming.
One of the things that, and I told him this, he's one of the reasons I wanted to get into coaching. And one of the things I admired about you, Coach, I remember when, like I said, the Eric Ward year, when Douglas, James Davis, that year we beat you guys at Lakewood.
Yeah.
When we went to the middle of the field to shake hands, and I remember Mama Joyce was with you.
Okay.
And we shook hands, and I just remember how she supported everything you do. And I can always remember Eric talking about when you guys watch film, she's sitting there watching film with you.
She was a coach, that.
Sound like me, right?
Guess what her record is? Down at Glenwood Hills, 60 wins and 1 loss.
Wow.
60 wins and 1 loss. Yeah, she know football now. She know the game, but the psychology of the game is the part that she manifests the best. Because you can put a lot into kids. You can put a lot into an empty vessel, but the empty vessel never gets full because you're getting other people punching holes into what you saying. Because if you got a parent not supporting you at home, man, you can forget that one.
That's all.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Because they got more than you do, and they got more influences than you do.
Right.
It ain't like it used to be. Parents give the coach, say, you take this boy now. This boy's yours, 3-4 hours, whatever it is, and he goes somewhere.
Yeah.
They ain't like that no more.
Yeah, they want to be living through them.
Living through them, or
Coach said he deal with the D1. D1, I deal with that.
Let me ask you though, Coach, but you had, and Keisha brought up another question. How did you determine D1 players? Because you had some.
Well, I had kids that could handle that kind of pressure that they was gonna get from being around majority white people. I had kids that could handle that kind of pressure, and those, like Chris Ward that went to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Cedric Zachary. I had a few guys at Georgia Tech, but by the same token, the coaches that I sent them to, Bill Carey, Bobby Ross, and George O'Leary, all them guys did the same thing I did with education now. They might have gone to D1, but they had that, my stamp on them, respect women, match the subject with the verb, be on time, look right.
Stay with us, Coach. We're going on the other side of that. We're going to the second hour, Coach. Hold on. We'll be right back. Quick break. Stay with us.
Station Network.
Break yourself, fool!
One of the most dominant home court.
Crust. You can't touch me, you're not man enough.
And that's all she wrote. End zone touchdown.
Hey, we're going to the second hour of the show right now. The Crush Sports Talk on the Sensation Station Network. We shout out to our people at Cricket Wireless. Go to cricketwireless.com or go visit any store to find out what they got going on. And this is a show that's like no other, man. When you get legendary coaches be able to come in. Buck Godfrey, also author of
The fifth book.
his fifth book, my
His fifth
friend,
book.
Eddie Robinson, a memoir about Gramblin's not black coach, American coaching legend, Mr. Eddie Robinson. And just, Coach, people are asking about, because it's like you gave a lot of people on here a lot of L's in your day, Coach. Where did those championships, Coach? When you won your first one, what was that feeling like?
You know what, man? When that happened, I remember a cold shot of water coming down my neck. And whatever I was feeling championship-wise, it was cold out there. When I felt it, I really felt it, when I looked at the film. And boy, they had this, I got to say it on your show because it's true. On one side was every black man in America. On the other side was every white man from Snellville in that area.
Good part of you.
And in the trees, the whole thing. And I said to myself, my God. It dawned on me, what if we had lost? They still would have been chasing me back to Africa. See, that game meant so much to black people, man. The sheriff sent me a letter say crime went down the cab. Hey, I'm telling you that game meant so much, man. That was Joe Louis, Jackie Robinson, Frank Robinson, Malcolm X. That's how big that was. And that's the only black team that won that thing in the highest division.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And I never looked at all the stuff that the game symbolized until later. That night, for me, I don't remember that night. I know somebody gave me a cap, Cartwright, and I took it off and gave it to a nephew of mine because I used to love it with my purple and gold hat that my mother made. And everybody taking pictures and you doing this and doing that. But all I wanted to do, man, was look at them boys have fun. I wanted to see, I just wanted to look at them. Because I told them, I said, man, never again in the history of the world will this ever be done. I said, because the Lord put you in a spot on a platform and made you winners. And no one can ever take that away from you. So that was really it was surreal. I still can see that. All them folk, man, I say, good gosh.
It was packed.
See, because I never look back. I never look at the stands. I have my mind from sideline to what's out there. So, but I don't know whether I answered your question or not.
That's
but
perfect, Coach.
That's what I did.
That was perfect. Because it wasn't nothing like playing them games. Now they playing the dome. It wasn't nothing like playing them championship games, either at home or on the road, man. It wasn't nothing like that. I'm sorry, man.
It's too cosmetic, man.
It's too. That's all.
There you go. Can you stay with one more segment, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Damn.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. Toyota. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection cleared. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The dream of the future, brought to reality by
Sensation Station Network.
You put him and Hassan.
Hey, we back, y'all. We asked about how fast was Olympian Terrence Trammell. So talk about it, Coach.
There was a boy faster than Terrence Trammell. A boy named Jermaine Stringer.
Boy. So you had you some speed. Stringer can go. Steve Davenport just checked in. He say, "What's up, Coach Godfrey Buck?" To those that know and love him. Eric Johnson, I love William Buck Godfrey. You the guy, Coach. You this guy. So you had how important was speed for you, Coach? I know you said defense was your thing, but speed was also seems to be a big thing.
See, Coach Cobb, the track coach, and I had an agreement.
Yep.
After we played football, all our wideouts and cornerbacks and everybody like that, they go to track. You had other guys go to wrestling. But you had to be involved in the sport. You just couldn't sit around. And then I had maybe 26, 30 guys lifting weights for me. So we're going to keep you busy. Because the busier you are, the better you do in your grades. People don't understand
Better believe
that.
it.
If you got downtime, you're going to find negative things to do. And that's just the way it was, man. But how important was speed? I'll be honest with you, man. I never even thought of it in that sense until this very moment. Because a lot of times we were without speed and had the same results.
Coaching matters.
Yeah, I mean, speed will give you an edge.
But coaching.
Yeah.
You know, some of the, people don't like Duke, but I like Duke. You know why I like Duke? That boy keep his same Milky Way guys and win.
He got a system.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People don't like the New England Patriots. Amendola goes. You got the other little fella in there, and Tom Brady still ain't getting sacked.
Edelman.
Yeah, I mean, you
I made it seem simple, Coach.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't say, if I ain't got speed, I can't win. Man, please. People been there for years without speed. Now, if you ain't got speed in the jungle, hell, you in trouble. You got the prey, you got the predator and the prey. Now, speed in the jungle is great.
Coach, this young man who was our official Uber driver for you tonight, one Hassan Graham.
Oh boy, number 4.
He said one of the biggest influences you had on his life was he was able to see how a man takes care of his family.
Yeah.
When you hear stuff like that, so many guys say that about you.
Yeah, Hassan, I hope he don't mind me telling the story, but Hassan and his family actually lived with us for
He told it.
a year and a half. I don't know how long it was, but I always tried to carry myself like my father. I go back to that thing, what you see is what you be. And I saw my father. My father called my mother the brown bummer. She couldn't do nothing wrong. I mean, that's, so when her son and Jackie and Keely come over, that was my babies, I mean, my children. And they allowed me to be a father at that time. And I enjoyed every minute of it, man, you know. Because my best asset, I can cook. I can cook now.
You go down cold.
Yeah, but I can cook. I can cook healthy, or I can cook, build your cholesterol up however you want it.
Coach got range. What you want in this kitchen? You want your cholesterol up? What you want in this kitchen? All your people from Towers, they're saying, Coach, talk about your Tower days.
Boy, them was my good learning days. They know that I had to do most of it by myself. Frank Yancey helped me out a whole lot. In fact, he became the defensive coordinator when we won that state championship. Probably the best defensive man ever walked the sidelines. But those kids over there, man, we didn't have the speed there, but we won. You know, these were white kids that bought into what we were doing, and we'd go out there and whip you. But we worked so hard, because I told them, I said, now look, I know you want to die on me and all this kind of stuff, but don't die, you know. We play it like it's 5 quarters, because in the fourth quarter,
don't die.
We gonna win.
Don't die.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter we gonna win, and we would wear you out, and then in the fourth quarter we gonna win.
I have this.
We found a way.
Because we all in here have daughters.
Oh,
and
man.
You were coaching, and now you raised Rashawn Ali, as you say. I
Yeah.
mean, coaching all these men, but now you got this daughter around there as well. How was that for you? And seeing where
It
she
wasn't
had
no different. I raised her like a boy. when I, you know, she one of the greatest moments we ever had. She was 4 or 5 in her first race as a swimmer, 25-yard freestyle, and she's stroking, boy, just doing all she can. And then when I was walking down, making sure, you know, nothing bad happened, and then she put her hand on the side to grab the lip, and I took my foot and I pushed her hand off. And she looked at me, boy, and that thing hurt so bad, but she finished the race, and that changed her whole life right there. You got to finish it once you started. All right. But I used to go on speaking engagements. I'd take her with me. She was a sideline. She was a manager with the rest of the girls until she was 14. Rashawn is the biggest tomboy in the world, man. Hardest thing we had to do is when she sit down, keep her doggone legs closed. She squat. I said, "What's wrong with you, girl?"
She gonna kill me.
Skirt on.
Oh, it's over. You in trouble.
Kill me. That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, but you know, I taught her how to box, and she whipped the girl, and she come to me crying and everything. I come to my class crying. I said, boom, 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 boom. I said, well, all that's well and good. You know, she was the homecoming queen. I ain't gonna be the queen no more. I said, wait a minute. Did you win? She said, yeah. I said, well, hell, we can take care of the rest of it.
That's not what
3 words. Did you win?
Did you win?
I want to know nothing else.
That's the only
Did
question
you
I
win?
have. Did you win?
Oh, man. So, Coach, man, we are so appreciative that you came in today, sir.
Man, it's my pleasure. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know this existed. I just am so thankful that we got brothers and sisters doing the things you are doing, reaching out to people, man, because it's so important in our communities now, because, boy, these young boys, they don't have nothing to see. And, you know, I talk about that D1. The only reason D1 is D1 is because they're on TV. All right? You know, you take them off TV, and then you'll see some things. But, you know, this country is a capitalist run, and you know the other things that go along with it. But I'm just so thankful that you are reaching the people that you are reaching. I just wish I could play this on County Road to some of them sag pants, pajama wearing fellas out there.
Get them, coach.
That ain't about nothing and don't want to be about nothing. It's all right to, you know, and then gonna hurt somebody else. That's bad.
The book is called My Friend, Eddie Robinson.
I love this guy, y'all.
A memoir about Grambling's American coach, coaching legend, the legendary himself, the legend himself, William Buck Godfrey. Make sure you get this book. Where can I get it at, Coach?
It's Amazon.
Amazon. Right to your front door, baby. I got mine in the day because I'm an Amazon Prime member. Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate that.
Man, thank you.
We got photos we got to take now, Coach.
Oh, okay.
Honey,